Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason. As always, my co-host, the voice of MMA in Utah, Mr. Zack Partridge. Before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by one of our sponsors, and it is Contender Clothing, as Zack is wearing right there. I am not wearing my Contender shirt today. I am wearing not wearing my Contender Series underwear today. No.
You should have just shown them. Nobody's looking at your underwear, dog.
Go check out Contender Series clothing online. Freaking awesome shirts. They have fight shorts, any kind of apparel you're looking for, hats, Contender Series clothing. Oh, we almost lost him. And so today, Mr. Sam, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it kind of sounds like you're chopping up a little bit.
What's the internet on there? Is there internet good? Oh, it's our internet connection.
Let's see. We're on it. We're
switching it. I'll keep introducing Sam. So I'm introducing our fighter spotlight is Mr. Samuel Medel. He's coming down to be fighting in Salt Lake City on December 17th. He'll be fighting in the co-main event against Cole Faust. Sam, what's up, man?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. Thank you guys for inviting me on. It's my first podcast, so it's not something that I ever actually even thought I'd be doing. So it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, but being a fighter, you got to step out of your comfort zone every once in a while. So here we are. I'm excited.
You definitely do have to step out of your comfort zone. So did we lose it? We are.
It's our internet.
We got 1 second. One. All right, that one should be better.
All right, let's try this again. How do we sound now?
Well, you sound good. Yeah, it's pretty clear.
All right,
cool.
Good.
That looks good. So, Sam, when's the last time you fought?
Well, my last fight was back in March earlier this year. It was for Mountain Force 23, I believe. Okay. And I fought a pretty game opponent called Roberto Vela. And it was a pretty hard fight. We went back and forth for all 3 rounds, and at the end of it, I was able to walk out with the decision. Which, I'm happy I won, but I would have preferred a finish in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Sam, where are you training out of? What gym do you train out of?
So I train down in Logan, Utah. I train with at Cache Valley Martial Arts and Fitness. Okay. We got a pretty good team down there. Good coaches, Kofi Adzitso, Cody Udy, and everyone that I just train with. We all like help each other a lot. Like, they help me sharpen my tools as much as I can, and I'm very appreciative for everything that everyone at my gym does for me, and I'm glad that I'm able to help them in return.
So what do you know about your opponent, Cole Faust, for this upcoming fight? I believe so. If you train up there with Cache Valley with Adam Easley, so you trained with somebody that he's fought before. So what do you know about Cole?
Yeah, so I know that he's a very talented fighter, without a doubt. And I also know that I think it's fair to say he's probably like one of the most popular amateur fighters that I can think of. Like, I know he gets a shitload of support, and
he brings a crowd. That's for sure.
Yeah. When he actually fought my teammate, like, I was actually there at the event.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't aware. Like, I honestly didn't know who he was at the time.
Yeah.
And then I just heard his music play, and then the whole arena just exploded. I was like, it actually almost caught me by surprise. I was like, damn, I wish I could get this every once in a while. But I know, but he's got a lot of hype behind him, but for good reason. I've seen he's really good. From what I've heard, he's been I believe he's been training in martial arts since his childhood. I think 5 or 6 years old, something like that.
Yeah, that's correct.
So it's definitely going to be a challenge. I'm expecting this to be the hardest fight that I've ever had to date, but I'm preparing for that. I know this is going to be my hardest fight, and I'm getting ready for it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Are there areas where you feel like you have an advantage in this fight? And did you see things when you went and watched him fight your teammate that made you feel like you'd have some success?
Well, I mean, I feel like stylistically we're a pretty good match for each other. Like I don't like it's kind of like a hard way to explain, but I see that he has like really good skills. I know for sure he's like a very good grappler. He has what 5 wins, 4 of them by submission. So
I
I
think
know that
so.
that's
Yeah.
something. I know that's something that I gotta keep an eye on. And but I feel confident enough in my grappling skills. I feel like my striking's good. If it comes, I feel like if push comes to shove, I have the toughness, the heart, and the grit, and just anything to get to win in any type of way. I believe I can win by knockout. I believe I can win by submission, and I believe that I could grind out a decision if it comes to that.
Nice. I like it. Love the
Yeah.
confidence, man. I love it.
And I believe we were both competing at the same jiu-jitsu competition in Bluffdale last month. How'd
Really,
that go? Did you compete down there?
It was Grappling Industries, right?
The Impact.
Oh, Impact. Oh, I don't think I was able to make it to that one. Yeah, I think
Okay. So because I saw
family
you were
occasion.
registered on there, but you didn't. So you didn't make it down though.
Yeah, I wasn't able to make it down, which sucks because I
Bummer.
blew like what $80 to sign up, and that's just down the drain at this point.
Yeah. Do you
Nice.
do a lot of jiu-jitsu competitions and stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, when I watched Cole fight my teammate, like that kind of something about that just like made me think like I think I want to fight him like at some point in the future. So I knew just from watching that one thing that I was gonna have to improve on, like as much as I could, would be my grappling skills. So I've been doing everything that I can from just training in jiu-jitsu to competing as much as I can. I've just been doing everything I can. I've tried to compete multiple times for the Cole fight. Originally I had a kickboxing fight about a month or two back that, I mean, I don't know. I guess my opponent got cold feet because they just hit me up and said, "Hey, this guy didn't turn in his blood work and he's off the grid." So they just ended up scrapping it like 2 weeks away. And I was like, I mean, I'm prepped for it. Y'all couldn't fight anybody, and they're just nah.
Who is that for?
It was for Mountain Force Kickboxing.
Yeah.
I've been competing for them for quite a bit, but I don't know, I felt like branching out a little bit.
Yeah, and we have nothing. I've only fought for SteelFist. I think atmosphere wise and things fighting there. I think that'll be a really enjoyable experience for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. When I went to go, I mean, I'm bringing this up like the 5th time, but when I went to go watch the fight, like I noticed that I just really liked the environment and being in the crowd and just like the whole atmosphere. It was just really good, and it was like a lot of fun. And the whole time I was just thinking like, I don't know when, but one of these days I'm gonna have to fight for these guys. And I mean, here we are, a little over a week away.
Hell yeah,
it's gonna be good, man. So
yeah, I'm excited for it.
Sam, what got you into fighting? You've got 3 fights. What's your background? Did you wrestle in high school? What's your background and what got you into fighting?
Funny enough, I got into combat sports like pretty late in life. When I was growing up, like my background as a child, soccer. Like being a typical Mexican, like I just grew up playing soccer.
Yeah,
and I was thinking about like getting into martial arts because there were a few classes that would just pop up around my town. But the issue is my mom wasn't exactly the biggest fan of me, training in martial arts. And at the time, you needed to have I needed a parental consent form because I was underage.
Yeah.
And so I went to my dad. I was like, "Hey, Dad, can you like fill this out?" Because I knew that he might be cool with it, but he was just ask your mom. And at that point, I just knew my plan was dead in the water. So I had to wait until I was able to sign up myself, and I didn't need anyone's permission.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and
Where
I
do
mean,
you?
I feel. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. You can keep going.
Well, I was gonna say, and I feel like for the amount of time that I've been training, I feel like I've picked this up like a lot faster than I thought I would. Originally I didn't think that. Originally I thought that like just having a soccer background like wouldn't really benefit me at all, but I feel like growing up playing soccer, like I learned how to use my feet,
Yeah.
and that's helped me out a lot in like just learning everything that you need to do. And I mean, it's I'd probably attribute some of my success to having that background.
I would think having that soccer background, that your endurance is probably pretty well too, because you're going all game in a soccer game.
Yeah. My cardio has been like, it hasn't failed me yet. So I know that I got it. I know that it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
And I know going into a 5-round fight, like I just gotta improve it. Like regardless of how good I think it is, I gotta make it better. And right now, that's one of the things I'm focused on. You know, we still got time, still got a little time to improve it a little bit, but I think right now it's good.
Your career's off to a great start. You're 3-0. You're still, how old are you? 20, 22, 23?
22.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Just a kid.
just a kid, man. You're ready to roll.
Pretty
I
pretty
think
much.
I think it's pretty awesome. One, that you're even taking a fight like this against Cole, who you're coming down here. You're coming into enemy territory basically. But you've seen what happened when he fought your teammate Adam, how the atmosphere was, and everybody's obviously going to be there for him. So I mean, I think it's mad props to you for stepping up and taking this challenge. So
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I kind of like that idea. You know, coming in as like the underdog. Like I feel like 90% of the people that are there expect me to get my ass beat, and I mean, I feel like that just takes a lot of the pressure off of me. Like
takes a
the
lot.
only pressure that I have to deal with is the pressure that I put on myself. And I put pressure on myself to prepare, but I don't put enough pressure on myself to, to fuck with my head. You know what I mean? So that's something that kind of intrigued me a little bit, you know, coming in as the underdog and just looking to pull off the upset. You know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah.
There's things like with it, and I mean all transparency, like, we know Cole. Like I know Cole. I train with Cole. Like he's one of my main training partners, and and like you said, like people know when they go watch him fight, like he brings a crowd, and like there are things. But one thing that Cole needs and he recognizes is he has to be that type of guy that's willing to fight anybody and everybody that wants to, and you got to give somebody like you a lot of respect. That, I mean, essentially, if I'm not mistaken, you asked for this fight, correct?
Yeah, I did.
That's not a lot of people are asking for this fight. So when you talk about pressure and stuff, and where you're sitting, if I'm you, you're in the perfect situation, right? You're not supposed to win. You're fighting your first fight at SteelFist, where that's where he fights all his fights. He's the guy there. I mean, and I've said it before, I think he's pound for pound the best amateur in the state right now. But that's the beauty with fighting, is you get to go in there and challenge yourself and push yourself. And then you get to be in the, like you said, nobody expects you to win. So you don't have to deal with any of those pressures or any of those worries. And sometimes that's a nice place to be.
Yeah. I think another reason that I also wanted this fight is just because of the challenge aspect, you know.
And that's
that's
so cool.
I know this is going to be a big ass challenge for me, but I mean, in this game, like if you don't challenge yourself, like how can you grow? How can you like get better? You know, you only get better in training if you go against people who know what they're doing. So,
and they're better than
when it comes to fighting, I feel like every fight I have makes me better. And going into, fight the best opponent I fought yet, this is the fight that's win, lose or draw. It's the fight that's gonna help me grow the most that I have to this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and part of being a mixed martial artist and challenging yourself too is not being afraid to lose too, right? I mean, so many people they get in your spot, and I know where you were. I got to 4-0, so I know where you're sitting, and and then there all of a sudden there gets this pressure to how long can you go undefeated, right? And people, and people want to know that, and I feel what I respect more than anything is you're saying, give me the hardest fight. Don't keep giving me. You said I'm sure you could have asked for, been like, no, I don't want to fight Cole Faust. I want to fight, somebody else at 155, and you could ask for easier fights, but does that really make you better? Does that push you? Does that get you where you need to grow? No, what's the worst case? Your worst case scenario is if you get a loss next to your record, but then you get to learn where to grow and where and then if you win, it's hey, it's all good. So I like your mental aspect and approach going into in martial arts in general and going into this fight.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I ain't gonna lie. When I first got the contract and I had to turn that in, like I signed it, and as soon as I handed it back and they sent it in, and I knew like shit, this is gonna go down.
Not real.
Yeah, I hate that feeling. I get that every time I sign a contract. It's like
for about the first week or two after I sent it out, like every day I just had this like weird sense of nervousness, like every day. But I think that's been good for me because having been nervous that long ago, as time has passed, my nerves have started to go down. So I'm like more mellowed out right now. And I'm at the point where I'm like relaxed. Like
nice.
I feel good. Like I'm actually excited for next Friday.
Good. We're excited. We're excited to be there and watch you guys. I'm sure it'll be a good fight.
Hey, this is a game. This is a game that there's really no guarantees in it. So I can't really guarantee you an outcome, but I can guarantee you that this is one that you're not going to want to miss. So
I love it, Sam. I love it.
I like that.
So you just pretty much answered my next question because I was going to ask, how do you see the fight ending? So I guess I won't ask that. Where do you see yourself going after? I mean, obviously we're not looking past Cole, but where do you see yourself after this fight? Are you plan on taking a couple more amateur fights and going pro, or is this kind of something where you just want to stay amateur? What's your plan, long-term plan with MMA?
When it's come to like planning, I don't know. I see kind of like making long-term goals. I see it a little bit as putting like the cart before the horse, Like I don't want to look. Every fight I've had going into it, I've just had the mentality of like, what do I want to do in the future? I don't know. I'll know when this fight's over. So right now, all my mentality is focused for next Friday. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with what I want to I'm not exactly sure what I want to do afterwards, but I mean, if I win, then for sure I gotta defend the belt.
I love it.
But
so
we'll just see when the day comes.
You got a comment from our boy Fiji. He says he loves the DBZ sweater, homie.
Oh,
I don't know. Is that a cartoon thing? Is that anime?
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Come on, get with it, old man. I don't want to watch it either. Sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll let Fiji and Rico and Tyson Roberts and all you guys geek out over it.
So, Sam, do you have any sponsors you want to give a shout out to before we let you get out of here?
Not really, but I would like to give a huge thanks to Central Milling. The company I work for. I asked them one day, like, hey, do you think we can work together? And like, I don't know, maybe like you buy a few tickets for my coworkers. And I mean, like a couple of days later, they wrote me a check for over $500. So,
nice.
I got to give them thanks for that.
Hell yeah.
But, thank you guys for having me. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
December 17th. If you guys don't have tickets, reach out to Sam, reach out to any of the fighters on the fight card, support your local MMA fighters. December 17th, SteelFist Fight Night. We'll see you guys then. Hey, Sam, thanks a lot again for joining us, man.
All right. Thank you for having me. See you guys later.
Out.